Okay, we're now joined by Ryan Newman, driver of the number 39 Quicken Loans U.S. Army Chevrolet, and he is joined by Paul Knowles, who is a U.S. Army veteran from Sun City, West Arizona. And Ryan, you have a unique Veterans Day promotion with your sponsor. Talk a little bit about that, and then Mr. Knowles, if you can talk about your service and just the opportunity to be involved with Ryan this weekend.
We got an awesome paint scheme with our Quicken Loans Chevrolet. The digital camo is not just digital camo, it's kind of desert camo. And on the bottom part of the race car, there's over 250 black and white photographs of servicemen and women who have closed a mortgage at Quicken Loans. So a great tribute to the veterans on Veterans Day weekend, and very, very much appreciative of what Quicken Loans does for the veterans with their mortgages, and obviously just tributes like this on special occasions. So the TV panel on the bumper cover of the car says it best, home of the free because of the brave, and that's why we're proud to represent Quicken Loans this weekend.
All right. If you can talk a little bit about your service and then the opportunity to be on Ryan's car this weekend.
Well, first off, the opportunity to be on Ryan's car is really nice to have. That car, the car with Quicken Loans and backing up all the veterans, that's really a plus. Making a loan with Quicken for that new house I just bought was just painless. It was wonderful. They've done a really great job on working with the veterans. So I was spent a year in Vietnam in '68 and '69. I was lucky when I made it back. So now I'm just a Vietnam vet. Got out of the service and enjoyed the tour. So.
Well, before we go any further, we want to thank you for your service for all of us to keep our freedom free. So we'll go ahead and open it up for questions for Ryan or Mr. Knowles. Okay. We'll start with Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Munzer from Germany. Ryan, you told that the car has a special layout or paint scheme for this race. Are you involved in putting some ideas into the paint scheme of the car?
No, that's one of the things that Stuart Haas I've always been extremely proud of, is they put together great paint schemes for great reasons. And Quicken Loans has been a big part of this, like I said. But the people at Stuart Haas obviously have to do the final layout of the car, make sure everybody's happy sponsor-wise, and everything's everybody's happy as far as their logo placement. But just really happy with the way the car looks. It's an amazing looking car. Hopefully it adds maybe a half second a lap to it, something like that, so we can have it in victory lane and show everybody really what Veterans Day is all about.
Go ahead, Louis.
Yep, down up front. Hello, Louis Frank, Reuters and Speed Week. Is there anything that you can do in these last two races to help prepare for next year, since you're not, in the chase?
Win. just win. Just win everything. Win the polls, win the races. I mean, that's one of our goals these last two races is to get a pole, just like every other race before that. But we're not in the shootout as of right now, so it's an important part of my career to keep that streak alive. And obviously, it's a goal no matter what to be the fastest and be the best. So that starts today, and we'll see how we can do. We had a good car in the spring and got crashed out about middle of the race, but look forward to this racetrack. It's always been a good track for me, both on Fridays and on Sundays.
Okay. Yep. David?
Ryan, two questions. Last week, Tony made the reference to Keselowski having a death wish. I wonder if you could expand on what you think that means. And also, it comes up every year, what if there wasn't a chase? How would things be? What are your thoughts? Do you like chase, not chase?
I'm not sure about the death wish, so I really can't comment about that. I don't know what he was talking about, if it was something he said or did or whatever, but that's not my place to say. The chase part of it, I think it adds a percentage of it adds hype, and as I said from the very beginning, there's, in the beginning it was 10 drivers that got the extra hype, and the rest of them didn't. Now it's 12 that get the extra hype. So I mean, and having missed it 2 of the last 4 and made it 2 of the last 4, I can kind of speak on both sides of it. It does change your outlook and your outcome for the next 10 races. After Richmond. As far as what you have to look forward to, if you have an opportunity, if you don't have an opportunity at a championship. But ultimately, we're there to win each and every race, so that part of it doesn't change. So sometimes it's bittersweet because of the situation you're in, but it is what it is. There's still an opportunity for a champion each and every year, and in the end, if you look at it from a point standpoint, it really doesn't change who has that opportunity. whether we have a chase or not. It's still a group of 4 or 5 drivers at the end of 26 that are still in that group of 4 or 5 going into the last few.
All right, let's go Stan, Steve, and then Woody up front.
Stan Creekmore with RPM tonight. And I'm sorry, sir, I don't remember your name.
Paul.
Paul. Were you a longtime NASCAR fan all these years, or was this a surprise weekend coming to you? And then I have a follow-up for Ryan.
Truthfully, I hate to say it, I haven't been a NASCAR fan, but this adds some credibility for me to see what it's all about firsthand. So, I mean, it's a very good thing for me.
Ryan, you get a lot of guests throughout the year that you meet and greet and spend the weekend with. What is it like when you get a gentleman like this man who wasn't really a NASCAR fan? Is that as equally as challenging but yet as fulfilling as any other type of fan?
Well, just as I've always said, having the Army as a sponsor, it's a different kind of sponsorship when you meet people like that who represent your brand, I guess you could say. So, meeting Paul, it's special. It's extra special this weekend because it's Veterans Day, and everybody needs to recognize that. That's the point of it is to give thanks to those who have served and given us the opportunity to do the things that we do and not have to worry about what kind of plane's flying over our head. But just really proud, like I said, of Quicken Loans. This is their program. This is their race, and obviously it ties in with the U.S. Army, which is another sponsor. But it's just I'm thankful, and it's an honor for me to drive a race car that pays so much tribute to so many special people.
Steve Richards of PRN. I have a question for Ryan. First of all, Paul, thank you for your service. Ryan, is this one of these seasons that you kind of wish it would end, or you're glad it's going to end, or would you like to keep going?
Well, people have asked me, friends, family, whoever, if I'm looking forward to the off season, and I answer yes and no. Yes, I am, because my ultimate goal of winning the championship is not within grasp by any means, but I still have the opportunity to win 2 races. So there's things to look forward to, but my ultimate goal I cannot achieve this year. So at that point, you want it to end and get started on next year. I really enjoy the off season. I enjoy the 90-plus days, whatever it is, of being able to spend time with family and the outdoors and hunting and a little bit of fishing and just getting a chance to vacation at home. That's to me what it's all about. So it's a catch-22.
All right, let's go to Dan, and then can somebody get Dustin Long a mic here in the middle? Okay. Go ahead.
Ryan, Mark Armio with the Arizona Republic. Do you, with the 48 win in the last 2 races, do you think, knowing that team, do you think there's a good chance they're going to pull away from the 2, or do you think this is going to go around right down to the last lap at Homestead?
There's a good chance of anything, and there was as good a chance of Brad winning that race last week as there was Jimmy, in my opinion. And and I believe, if I remember right, Brad was on 2 tires and Jimmy was on 4. So there was there was a strength there to that 2 car that was pretty dominant all race long. So anything can happen here. I especially say with the dog leg in the backstretch that things can get exciting here that we don't anticipate. I think that's kind of escalated over the last 2 races here. So we'll see how that goes. But this is a fun racetrack for me. It's fun for a lot of guys. It's challenging because it's different on both ends. So, Homestead itself is relatively simple when it comes to the racing part of it because it's so wide and you can use top to the bottom of the racetrack, both ends. And we saw how well Tony Stewart was last year with being able to pass cars. So, to me, this is more of a challenge from a racing standpoint in these next 2 races than Homestead is.
Okay, Dustin.
Dustin Long, USA Today. I've got a couple questions. First one is, with being back with Matt as your crew chief, we always hear about sometimes it takes the time for driver and crew chief to kind of get back on the same page. Do you have to go through that as much with Matt since it's been such a long period of time, things have changed, or kind of what's that transition like, first of all?
I don't think we ever had to worry about getting back on the same page. It was more a matter about catching the right paragraph. We think so much alike. We understand the principles of the race car, but for him, I think it's more just a matter of adapting the physics of the race car to my feels and the comments that I make, having not had my experience with that over the past 5 or 7 years, whatever it's been. So, we've always been on the same page when it comes to understanding the race cars. It's just a matter of us, creating that that fine tuning of what we need to do to make them perfect.
And secondly, with the championship essentially, for the most part, down to 2 guys, there's always the talk throughout the chase, what kind of respect should be given to the title contenders throughout the chase. How does that change when you're 2 races to go, 1 race to go? You've talked about you want to win races, you still want to do that. So is there more respect that has to be given, or is that a fan and maybe media misperception out there? How does it change how guys race against the title contenders when you get down to 1 or 2 races to go, and it's only 2 guys as opposed to 10, 12 guys?
I guess the best way to describe it is race them equally. Like you said, there's 2 guys that are in the contention right now for the championship. So if you're in a position where you race the 48 a certain way, race the 2 car the same way.
They don't race you the same way.
Yeah, they will. They do. I mean, they know me, and they know my passion for not letting them go by. That's just the way I am. But and sometimes it helps me, sometimes it hurts me. But yeah, for the most part, race each other how you would want to be raced. If it was you racing for a championship, give and take the way you would want to be given and taken to. I mean, that's maybe the best way to describe it is.
But there's not more an allowance at this point?
To me, there's not more of an allowance. You know, there's a level of respect, and it's situational. You know, if I'm racing for a lucky dog, then it's different than if I'm racing for the win. And that really doesn't change much, maybe a little bit. So yeah, to answer your question, maybe a little bit, but not really. I'm still here to win the race, and my sponsors and my fans and everybody around me, and my team especially, expects me to not lay over and give them extra respect because of their situation. My situation is I'm still here to win a race. Yep.
All right. Any additional questions for Ryan or Paul? Okay. We'll end here with Lewis.
Ryan, Lewis Frank again, Reuters and Speed Week. Did you have a chance to see the restarts at the end of the race last week in Texas? And if you did, I was wondering what your thoughts were.
I quickly saw, I think it was the last restart when Jimmy kind of pulled the air off the 2 car a little bit, which is fine. I mean, that's racing. If I remember right, Brad had the opportunity to pick the lane, and he chose the inside. He very easily could have picked the outside. So, yeah, I don't think there was anything wrong with any of it. From what I saw, I didn't see all of it.
All right. Good luck this weekend, and thank you again for your service.
Thank you.